We all complain about shady pay-to-win Minecraft servers that contain gambling mechanics and other predatory monetization, but almost nobody has ever tried reporting these servers to Mojang to see if Mojang will actually force them to make changes, as they have done to a handful of servers in the past. So this is exactly what we are going to do today. I have extensively researched and scoured the internet, finding 18 Minecraft servers that break Minecraft's guidelines, whether that be through containing illegal gambling mechanics with deceptively hidden odds, selling unbans for as high as $330 US, running fake sales that break American laws, having completely NSFW map art and art on the server, or pretending to pay money to charity, and I have personally investigated and reviewed every single one. And rather unsurprisingly, the number of EULA breaking servers is even greater than I ever thought. Many are getting away with very predatory monetization by flying under the radar. So I reported all of these servers one by one, and we are going to see if anything actually happens to them, or if Mojang will let them keep running scot-free. The first server we will be investigating today is Minecadia, a Minecraft faction server infamous for containing a large portion of cybercriminals as its player base. I mean, one of these server's players is now in prison over the famous case where $230 million in crypto was stolen. I made an entire video talking about the server and its predatory gambling monetization last year, and as a matter of fact, did in fact report the server too. And interestingly enough, whether that be because of my video, my report, or something else entirely, the server did make some changes. For example, one thing I reported the server for was the fact that their Cadia roll, an in-game slot machine players could spend real money on to roll and potentially win rare rewards, did not have the odds of winning each of the items in its loot pool listed. While not explicitly listed in the Minecraft guidelines for some reason, when it comes to crates, loot boxes, and other similar RNG mechanics on Minecraft servers, they are actually allowed by Mojang, but there are specific rules surrounding their implementation. As mentioned, for some reason these rules aren't listed in the public guidelines, but server owners such as myself have received emails all with the exact same rules, which essentially state that if you have crates and loot boxes, the potential rewards you can win need to be previewable and the odds of obtaining them need to be displayed too. One of the things many shady Minecraft servers do is hide the rewards you can win from crates, or hide the odds so they can set them super low and deceive players into thinking they have a chance to win them. This is what many of Minecadia's RNG mechanics used to be like, which I called them out and reported them for, that now seems to be changed everywhere, so well done to them, although not like it really changes how harmful the server is, as they still have so many gambling mechanics it's insane. That being said, cheeky Minecadia is still getting away with breaking a few of the guidelines that they thought everyone overlooked, but not me. The server has a new loot box called the Blind Box, where the top item is a secret founder item, and despite us knowing the odds of pulling the secret item, these secret items cannot be previewed, breaking one of those two specific crate and loot box rules. Furthermore, another rule they break is related to payouts. Another unwritten rule Mojang has for servers is that they do not allow servers to offer real money payouts or rewards to top players, which servers such as the Archon and many more were forced to remove. You can however offer payouts to top players in the form of non-real currencies such as server store credit or in-game currencies, which is what many servers do instead. But of course, those aren't nearly as alluring as real money, so Minecadia now offers charity payouts in addition to their store credit payouts. Nobody's being fooled by this except maybe Mojang enforcement. The money is still being paid out to top players, not a charity, nor is Minecadia giving the money to top players as a charitable donation either. It's just a way to attempt to work around the real money payout rules. One of the things I originally reported the server for was selling unbans, which is another thing Mojang doesn't allow that's not officially listed in the public guidelines. Back in 2022, Minecadia used to sell unbans on the server store, which they were blacklisted for and forced to remove. Now they sell unbans through sending ban players to a jail world, where you have to mine coal to earn credits, and it costs 3,000 credits to buy an unban. For every 5 coal you mine, you get 1 credit, and from my testing, it takes about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to get 10 credits, meaning it would take 11 hours straight of mining coal to get an unban. They even make you fill out a captcha every so often to prevent people from botting it, so it would likely take a lot longer too. That being said, you can buy credits from the server store, 3,000 costing about $22 US, to therefore instantly buy an unban. Basically, this entire jail world is a way to force players to buy unbans without it looking like they are directly selling unbans on the server's store. And think about it, how would Mojang enforcement know such a world exists to buy unbans unless they joined the server and got banned themselves, which they clearly won't do. Since the server was breaking Minecraft's guidelines pretty blatantly still, I submitted another report since means maybe parts of the old one I sent got lost in the mail. Oh, and for reference, for all these reports I am submitting them through an anonymous username and email. Alright, so the next server on our list to investigate is Vortex Network, and is actually breaking the law. But first, are you looking for a safe marketplace to buy and sell various in-game items in Minecraft and other games? Well, look no further than this video's sponsor, Eldorado. Go.eldorado.gg/TheMisterEpic, code EPIC. Eldorado is one of the only online peer-to-peer marketplaces that will keep you safe, as it has an easy way to view seller verification and 24/7 customer support in case you run into any issues. I myself have unironically used it many times to buy temporary Minecraft Game Pass accounts for videos, as well as Donut SMP bases. I wish I was kidding, they really have everything on here, it's kind of crazy. The website has always been extremely easy and user-friendly to navigate. Everything is clearly labeled and categorized with descriptions so you won't get lost, where if you don't instantly get access to your bought content, you can easily use Eldorado's money-back guarantee without any hassle. With a very high Trustpilot score from almost 200,000 reviews and secure transactions, Eldorado is one of the safest game marketplaces out there. Use my link here, go.eldorado.gg/TheMisterEpic, as well as my code EPIC to get a 5% discount on any Eldorado purchases. Vortex Network is a server allegedly seeing as high as 1,500 players online daily, but actually joining the server and seeing that its game modes with hundreds of players have almost zero chat activity, you can very much tell the player count is botted or spoofed. But that's not what we are here for. We are in fact here to see the server's crates and loot boxes, its gambling monetization. Here are the server's crates, which rather interestingly do not have any of the odds listed of winning any of their items. So the better items could be insanely difficult to obtain, and that's not all, as the server sells individual loot boxes with a bunch of random rewards, and guess what? No odds are listed here either. Funny enough, these loot boxes have a double layer of non-compliance, as they also feature a jackpot reward section where you have a chance to hit the jackpot and win everything listed here. But the chance of hitting the jackpot is also not listed, and thus could be insanely low. Furthermore, they seem to be running a sale, but here's the thing. If we go back through archives of the server's web store, the sale has simply never ended. Here's an archive from April 2024 where there is an 85% off sale, and the galactic rank is 120 USD. Here is an archive from a year later in March 2025 where the same sale is still running. And here is an archive from November last year where the sale is now 80% instead of 85% because they wanted to increase the prices of their goods. And here is the store today where the rank is still 80% off. It's a never-ending sale, which while by itself is not entirely illegal, what is advertising these sales with fake original prices, as Vortex does, claiming their original rank price is $800, which we all know is not true. And while Minecraft's guidelines don't have anything specific on running fake sales, they do mention that they don't allow servers to engage in illegal activity. So I reported the server for both not listing the odds of their RNG mechanics and for running fake never-ending sales with fake original prices. I even included some links to archives for them. Next up, we have a rather enchanting server seeing over 2,000 players online daily, the biggest yet, called EnchantedMC. Now, like Vortex, upon joining, for a server with thousands of players online, it is oddly quiet. And that's because, as we discussed in this video here, the server is completely spoofed beyond belief, even the players mention as such. It feels like there are maybe 10 people online from how inactive the chat and the spawns are. Anyways though, if we take a look at the crates, you'll see they once again do not have odds listed. Or do they? You see, they do have these rarity bands, but where are the actual percentages as is required by Mojang's guidelines? Well, if you type an additional command /crates, you'll be able to see the breakdown. Common is 20% plus, rare 5 to 20%, legendary 1 to 5%, and mythical below 1%. What's interesting is I'd argue these are even more deceptive than having no odds at all, because for all we know, common could be as high as 93%, rare as low as 5%, legendary as low as 1%, and mythical, well, God knows how rare it could be since it's just below 1%. But the odds in this GUI make many of the rarer rewards seem significantly more likely to drop than they are. It's also still not guidelines compliant either, as the exact odds must be listed. And funny enough, they also have cosmetic crates, which have no odds or rarity bands listed at all. So these ones are just straight up completely non-compliant. They also had a special monthly cosmetic crate, which had rewards so exclusive, only the first 5 or single person to open it would get it for good, and the odds were not listed in this crate either. Players would sell these 1 of 1 or 1 of 5 cosmetics for as high as 5 to 10,000 real-world dollars in the server's Discord, and when new ones released every month, other players would drop thousands, blindly gambling and hoping to get them to make a profit, as we went into more detail in this video. So once again, a bunch of non-compliant crate and gambling mechanics, some even designed to be intentionally deceptive, which I included in the server's report. We are now going to take a brief international detour to Russia, where we have a series of very large and very popular Russian Minecraft servers, all of which breaking Minecraft's guidelines in essentially the same way. Make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this video, by the way. Writing up reports and filling out the same form 18 times over, well actually more because half the time it would error and I would have to fill it out again, took forever. No pressure of course. Anyways, the first Russian server is Ditlevsen, a cracked server seeing over 7,500 players online daily, which as a matter of fact is already blocked on the server's main IP and is just using a different IP to bypass their blacklist. And as for why they are blacklisted, well I don't know for sure, but I'd wager it's because once again unsurprisingly, their crates do not have odds listed, some of which don't even list the items that can be won at all. It also may be because Russian servers have a unique culture where their donator ranks gain the ability to ban, kick and mute other players from the server temporarily, something we went and messed around with a few years ago. Technically, this could violate this segment of Minecraft's usage guidelines, which says you can make money by charging for access to your server by asking for donations, as long as you don't offer the donor something only they can use, but it's hard to say for sure. Another very similar Russian server called Mineblaze, seeing a very suspiciously similar number of players, with a very suspiciously similar website, also has one IP blacklisted and has non-compliant crates and similar rank perks where you can ban players. However, maybe the reason they were blocked is because they have completely NSFW map arts all over the server, which when I joined about 2 months ago, a player who had the ability to /teleport other players with his rank teleported me into instantly upon me first joining. That's quite the warm welcome to the server, that's for sure. Minecraft's guidelines list all servers must be suitable for audiences of all ages, with pornography explicitly listed as being unsafe/mature content that isn't allowed, so technically this breaks the guidelines too. And then finally we have another Russian server called Skybars, a bit smaller seeing only 2,000 players online daily, which is also blacklisted on one IP already. This server takes the scummy rank and donation perks to another level. I mean, look at the server store. You can pay to straight up ban players for a day, and even supposedly buy server admin, sticks that crash players games, and much more. All of this certainly could be non-compliant and just flying under the radar, since nobody in the English-speaking world knows about it. They also didn't have a contact email listed on their website, which Mojang really does not like. So I reported all 3 servers individually, even including a screenshot of the NSFW map art for Mineblaze. I'm sure Mojang enforcement will enjoy that. Doing my best to explain how their uniquely Russian mechanics work, and I guess we'll see if anything happens to them whatsoever, but considering they are already bypassing their blacklistings, I doubt it. Next we have Purple Prison, a server so infamous that even Google's Gemini AI summary will state as much just when you Google the server's name, which I thought was funny. Purple Prison is a Minecraft server apparently seeing as high as thousands of players online daily, but that play count is spoofed by about 8 times or so, and they really only see a max of 100 to 150 online daily, very deceptive. On the server, everybody spends all day gambling and coin flipping money against one another when they aren't PvPing, as we covered in this video here. The server also has a variety of pay-to-win gambling mechanics like crates and loot boxes, but those are all compliant. What seemingly isn't compliant is the server's gambling minigames, Crash and Minesweeper. You see, in Minecraft's guidelines, it does actually mention that gambling is not allowed. But as we know, Mojang does allow gambling through loot boxes and crates with their special rules. So how could gambling be both banned and allowed at the same time? Well, when they reference gambling here, they refer to gambling mechanics that look like gambling you'd see in an actual casino, which is why gambling mechanics like a roulette table are not allowed. It's dumb, I know, but that's how it works. Now, Purple Prison has a game called Crash, where you wager a certain amount of money and can cash out any time before the multiplayer crashes and you lose it all, exactly like gambling on actual crypto casino websites. Furthermore, they also have Minesweeper, which works just like the crypto casino game Mines, where you select a certain number of mines and wager money, and click until you either decide to withdraw your wins or hit a mine and lose it all. Both of these game modes should be considered guidelines breaking, as they do emulate real gambling, which is exactly what I reported them for. And on the topic of casino type game modes in Minecraft servers, what about if a Minecraft server just put a full casino on their server instead? Well, HeartSMP, a server seeing about 50 to 100 players daily, decided to do just that. If you hop on the server, you can type /warp casino to go to the server's casino, where they have just about every typical casino game under the sun readily available to play, including roulette, poker, blackjack, crash, mines, dice, and many more, even including rock, paper, scissors. And as you can see, the server's players are really getting around it, as the top gamblers have played thousands of games. And in this casino GUI, the games even look like actual casino games once again. This whole system is a big no-no in the eyes of Mojang enforcement, and even mentioning the word casino should be enough for them to force the server to remove these mechanics or blacklist them. The server also didn't have a contact email, which once again, Mojang really don't like. I was pretty confident Mojang wouldn't like this server and got a few screenshots of the casino to really drive the point home for them. So far, this is the server I am most confident about being forced to change, but we shall see, I guess. WildWood SMP is our next server we will be investigating, seeing 50 to 100 players per day. First of all, the server has the classic crates with no odds displayed, even including a pretty pricey $10 cosmetic crate, which also has no odds either. And it's not like they don't know that they have to show odds, as their other crate does in fact have its odds listed. They likely are just flying under the radar with this one currently. What's even funnier is that their most valuable cosmetics in their crate can only be used by players with the top rank. So a player could buy a crate key for $10 and then win something they can't even use unless they are willing to spend about $70 on the server's top rank. Pretty scummy. The other shady mechanic they have is coin flips, which use the server's real money currency. Many servers have coin flipping, whereby players can wager in-game money against another player and either double their money or lose it all. But these servers only allow you to coin flip the server's in-game money currency. WildWood SMP allows you to straight up coin flip the server's premium currency called coins, which you buy directly for real money from the server store. Thus, you are essentially coin flipping and gambling real money. And finally, WildWood also has seasonal real money payouts for top PvPers, which as we covered earlier are not allowed, as well as no contact email listed on their store or main website. Quite a few non-compliant mechanics on this server it seems, so I reported them, and I guess we will once again see what happens. Now, I'm going to keep this next one brief, but as I'm sure you know, Preston Plays owns an extremely shady Minecraft server called Cosmic Sky. I actually did report that server last year and documented the entire saga in this video, but then earlier this year he released a new prison server called Cosmic Prisons, which I also very recently made a video about here. The TLDR is that the server was breaking Minecraft's guidelines in a multitude of ways, almost identical to how they broke the guidelines on their Skyblock server. This included a variety of gambling mechanics with no odds listed, a straight up Minecraft slot machine, more gambling mechanics which also had additional items with their own randomized loot pools within them, allowing players to buy and sell in-game currency and items for real money through the server's in-game chat and not banning them for doing so, otherwise known as IRL trading, and much more that's detailed in my 20-minute long video. Since we already reported Cosmic Sky and Cosmic Prisons has much of the same guidelines breaking monetization, I basically just copy-pasted my original 2700 word report and adjusted it to properly reference Cosmic Prisons and sent it off to Mojang enforcement. And quite ironically, there is also a server that exists called Cosmic Reborn, which is essentially a complete Cosmic PvP factions ripoff, seeing around 300 plays daily. Funny as that's more plays than the actual Cosmic servers. I made a video about this server last year, but we don't even have to summarize it, as they have all the same guidelines breaking mechanics that Cosmic Prisons and Cosmic Sky do, so once again I just used the same report, although cut quite a bit of the actual Cosmic Sky and Cosmic Prisons information and slightly adjusted it. Alright, so this video is beginning to get a bit long and tedious now, and all the remaining servers basically break the guidelines in similar or completely identical ways to the servers we've already discussed. So I'm going to speedrun you through them all real quick. Let's do it. Cave PvP, an old school hardcore faction server seeing around 100 players average daily, containing a variety of gambling mechanics, but guidelines compliant mechanics unfortunately seems to be breaking Minecraft's guidelines as they offer real money payouts through PayPal and crypto to players. Report sent. TheMisterEpic, a big server seeing 1 to 2,000 players online daily, has a variety of $10 crates which have no odds listed for any of the goods inside the crate, and also have a cosmetic crate with no odds listed too. Reported. MineLucky, a smaller server with some not so small gambling mechanics, containing crates with no numerical odds listed, and loot boxes with no odds either. To their credit, they did have rarity bans, but I could not find the numerical odds for these bans anywhere. Report sent. Vanilla Plus, a server getting 100 to 200 plays daily, sells unbans, unmutes, and even server unblacklists, for that's right, $330 US, an insanely high price, which as we discussed earlier, selling unbans is a no-go. The Phantom crate on the server also has no odds listed for any of the items you can win, and you can apparently even win real money from the crate, which I've not seen any server do, but therefore technically makes this straight up real gambling, which I'm pretty sure Mojang would not be too fond of. They also do cash payouts as well, triple whammy here. I reckon this one has a pretty good chance of Mojang taking action, but we shall see. OP Legends, big server, supposedly getting almost 2,000 players daily, also with a chat that moves slower than the speed at which Mojang releases new Minecraft updates, but we aren't here for that. The server's many loot boxes and crates are quite similar to EnchantedMC, which we went through earlier, all of which have no odds listed whatsoever. Furthermore, the server has a variety of cosmetic crates, all of which with no odds listed once again. What's new at this point? Reported. Sun Realms, a server seeing 150 to 250 players daily, has quite a lot of crates. Damn. All of which have no numerical odds listed, as well as loot boxes with no odds either. I feel like I've said this 20 times this video at this point. Reported. And finally today we have BoxMC, a server seeing around 100 players average, no odds listed for their two main crates, which are pretty pricey, at $14 each mind you, despite them making it clear with their other not as good crates that they have equal odds. Reported. So after all is said and done, we reported 18 Minecraft servers. I feel like the biggest teacher's pet ever right now, and my god am I sick of filling out the server report form over and over. Half the time the report form would time out and not submit by the way, meaning I had to write a bunch of these long ass tedious reports twice over. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss the follow-up video where we will revisit all these servers to see if anything has changed at all and if Mojang enforcement is actually doing their job or not. It will be interesting to see, that's for sure. Thank you all so much for watching.